A lot of people don't realize it. Hemingway spent, I think, 5 different summers in Cook City, just on the other side of that mountain over there. It's a little ways over, but he wrote For Whom the Bell Tolls and Snows of Kilimanjaro. Partially the idea came out of there. Anyway, with others. So it was a very remote area back then in the 30s, and he could get away from everybody and fish and hunt and do what he did. Also, adding to the uniqueness of the area, right up in that valley right there behind me, it's called 6 Mile. This fellow named Sam Peckinpah bought 400 acres, and he put a cabin up there and had these crazy parties. The property, he passed away. Guy was a wild man. He moved into the hotel, Murray Hotel in Livingston, and ended up passing away there. And then the property sold to Dennis Quaid, who doesn't own it anymore. So a lot of interesting things up in the area here. I know Michael, this is totally separate. Michael Flynn, if you Googled Michael Flynn and Elizabeth Clare Prophet, who ran the church here, there's this crazy video out there that he copied her speech from 1984 at a church in Nebraska, word for word. It's on the news. So Michael Flynn, who ran the military for Trump for 21 days, once he got out, he no longer employed. I guess he was traveling around doing talks, but he copied Elizabeth Clare Prophet's from the Cut Church, her speech in 1980 or 84 or something like that, when they opened up the giant bunker up there on the mountain. So, well, this is not directly related to construction of a unique house, but still, it's interesting. A lot of the houses that you see behind me and around here were purchased. They were mobile homes or double wides that were broken down again and sold to the Cut Church. So if you happen to know of a movie called Wild Wild Country on Netflix, it was about the Rajneeshi in Antelope, Oregon. And a lot of the resources that the church bought here, they bought from the Rajneeshi after they were shut down by the federal government. So a lot of those things were trucked in, and we've come across mobile homes, double wides, even some inner city buses over at the junkyard that were originally from the Rajneeshi. It was crazy times. Again, just an interesting area here. If you look carefully right there, beyond that pickup truck, I don't know if you can see it or not. You see a green stripe over there, right about there. That's a golf course. That is Arthur Blank's personal golf course, or it goes with Mountain Sky. So you'll see him from time to time fly in down Paradise Valley. Arthur Blank owns the Atlanta Falcons and the soccer team in Atlanta, started Home Depot. Anyway, he's buying up huge tracts and properties and putting them in conservatorship or hopefully protecting them over time. But he owns a tremendous amount of land around here, and that has happened to be his golf course right over there. So I know he's put some of the larger farms into a conservancy here already. I know John Mayer lives down the road, and there is a really interesting Chico Hot Springs, which is the famous old, really neat hot springs right around the corner. Just next to it, there's a new movie set of a cowboy town. They just finished filming Rust there. Kind of an interesting spot. We've gone over there with the guys to help clean up a few times, some of the summer gang that we have here. Jeff Bridges actually married the maitre d' from Chico Hot Springs, and He owned a farm up here for many years, right around the corner. The stone for the Roosevelt Arches as you enter the park, Yellowstone Park's about 27 miles south of here, the northern gate. A great amenity to the bunker. And the stones, actually, from the Roosevelt Arch were taken from just beyond Yoda. The next property over is a quarry over there, and it's it's basalt. Basalt is left over from the last explosion 600,000 years ago from Yellowstone. So you can, if you look around, you can see the dark layer of stone above all the sedimentary layers over there. And that butte, which the river had not eaten away, it still has all the basalt layer in it. So it's that stone that can break off in square pieces, and that's what they use to build that piece. One of the crazier things is that I was watching TV, and I guess when Trump was leaving office back then, and he had a speech. At the tail end of his speech, he said, "I'd also like to announce that Immigrant Ridge, right behind me, Immigrant Mountain, is now going to be known officially as B-47 Ridge." And I'm in Atlanta at the time, so I'm like, what? Why? What? So anyway, it turns out that right where that little bump is, to the left of the peak, or to the right of the peak over here, just below that, in 1962, a B-47 crashed into that mountain. All 4 guys died. But the B-47 was the plane that was responsible for keeping the Cold War from moving forward. So the Russians were worried about it could get in and get out before anything ever happened. So the B-47 was instrumental on no nuclear attacks coming in. So a local guy, he wrote up a bill, and he gave the bill to Gianforte, the governor of Montana, and then Gianforte, apparently his buddies with Tester, and gave it to the senator. Then the senator apparently knows Trump, because they got it added to a bill, about 5 lines, naming that, which is right in the middle of the national forest, the national forest, where no monuments are allowed, but they named that a historical site so they could put a monument on it. So, my guys from a couple years ago, we were here, and somebody came up with us and asked us to help them put the monument on top. So it was awesome. So on Facebook, you can go to B-47 Ridge. Somebody had the monument made. A helicopter donated his time, and we got great film of it. And the helicopter came in, got the stone, dropped it up there. We hiked up with tools, and we had a couple goats, big work goats, kind of work goats, but they were taller goats with backpacks on them that carried stuff up, and we went up to 9,000 feet. We carried some rifles in case you ran. It's bear country, in case you ran into some bears. But anyway, we set the stone, did a prayer. A number of the family members, descendants from the 62 crew, hiked with us. So, and that, you can see all that on the B-47 Ridge site. But the point is, that's one other interesting, crazy thing that's happened here, and it is an airplane that prevented the Cold War from moving forward. There were nuclear bombs being dropped, crashed right in front of a nuclear bomb shelter. It's just weird. It's crazy. It's interesting. And maybe meaningful somehow. I don't know. But anyway. And one last thing. Of course, this could be put into a different piece. So as I'm over at my contractors, digging through metal and steel and things that I could reuse, because you know we like to do that. We go through the junkyard and get stuff and reuse it. I came across these 2 pieces of metal that I'm thinking, hey, these look like airplane steel. So, or aluminum. So anyway, come on over. Let's go check them out. And I brought them here just because they were sitting. I think they were going to be melted down or scrapped. So I brought them here, and one of them we took and cut into strips, and we made an air chime, or a wind chime. That's what's left of the tray that we used to get all the grain out of the basement. We're going to use it for part of a new wall that's here. We're going to cut that tin off and use it because of the color that it is to kind of balance out some other colors. These are the 2 pieces of steel. Crazy. This is not sure what it was, but I looked at the markings and compared them to a B-47, and you can tell this came off that plane. And then these are all mutilated and turned around and twisted. And when these things are so strong, you cannot bend them. You cannot bend the metal. But a lot of them were hit on impact, and well, it's a little too loud, but it's interesting that the wreck is right there. And to me, anyway, it allows us to remember them, I guess I don't think it's right to remove anything from that spot. It's a little sacred, but the fact that, the sound actually comes from the material, the plane that they were in, So anyway, we're going to make another small one and take it back up there and hang it in the tree. So there's always some sound going or coming, from there. So it's I don't know. They give their lives. So, and I keep flags around too. It's not a political statement for me. Basically, I came from nothing and came back, and the resources that were available to me were, I got a loan for college, and I got a second chance and a third chance, and not everybody gets that. And I don't think in every country around the world they allow you to do that. So the basic freedoms that we have here allowed somebody who screwed up real bad to come back and have a great life, and to try to help others. So that's really what that means to me. So anyway, that is a tunnel. We cut the 2 ends off of that tank. We made a chandelier, and we have another chandelier, the other end of it, for sale on Etsy right now, because that's what we do. Try to keep our money turning over. And this is going to be a small outdoor room that is all made of stone, and we're going to put glass on top. That round tube is going to be the doorway to it. We're going to cover that in stone as well, but you'll be able to stay in there and see the stars at night. We're going to put big pieces of glass on top. Some kids could stay out there if they wanted to. So, anyway, that's it for now, I guess.